What a great game.
A couple of great and fun coaches in that game, too.
No doubt.
Coach D'Antoni and Coach Stevens.
Fun
as well.
guys, yeah.
110, 24 seconds to go in overtime. Again, everyone's
down to the wire.
captivated
Down
by
to the
this
wire.
one. There's no Kemba Walker, but again, a lot of offensive players in this game. Some incredible offense that we're watching. I asked you what the Celtics, I think, would need to be able to take that next step. You said they're a little thin inside. What about the Rockets? What do you think will be their primary hindrance come playoff time? Is it solely the small ball lineup that they're presenting, or is it simply going to be because there are so many powers in the Western Conference?
I think it's their defense. It's going to come down to whether they can ultimately guard bigs, quality bigs like Jokic and Anthony Davis, legitimate, superstars in this league. It's very difficult to do if you're talking about three-quartering and fronting the post with P.J. Tucker for the most part.
I think matchups might matter for them. Who they catch in the first round might matter.
Very true.
Makes
very
a difference,
true. Yeah.
End of the game. We've got a final score. Jaylen Brown attempting the last shot.
Pulls up on Covington.
Well, you worry about him defensively.
Great D.
Not bad by Robert Covington.
Great D.
Defensive stop. That'll do it. Houston Rockets hang on in overtime, 111 to 110. When we talk, though, about the Western Conference playoff race, how important are every single one of these wins after the All-Star break, especially for a team that's hung out at 4-5 and now looks like they could be up there in the top 3.
Yeah, which team's got to go on, take an East Coast trip, or which these teams have to come west? Here they are out on the East. That's a heck of a game and a great win for them. Keep building on their confidence of playing this way. To your question earlier, I think they do have to stay healthy. I don't think they have a lot of margin for error of one of their prime guys going down or being dinged up, not healthy going into the playoffs, and their matchups matter. But the race is awesome. I mean, every night I'm looking at the standings going, what if this happens? What if that happens?
And it can change so significantly every single night as well, which is why some of these bigger matchups are so vitally important.
Yeah, and you make a great point, Coach. I mean, it's one thing to say we're going to play this style. And if you go out and you play that style and you get your head beat in for a little while, players start doubting.
And doubt creeps in.
And doubt creeps in. And going in and winning this game, they had the game in control for the most part, then slip into overtime. But to dig it out, go ahead and dig it out on the road, it has to be taken as a good sign for the Rockets.
Well, it was a 41-point game from Russell Westbrook, so let's go ahead and hear from him after the game.
After that Jaylen Brown game tire at the end of regulation could have been demoralizing. How did you pick your guys up after that?
Same with it, man. The measurement of a man is where you stand in adversity, man. I thought we did a good job as a unit coming out competing and closing the last 5 minutes out.
It seemed like you had some adversity early on in the game. Everybody was struggling. You had yourself going. What did you do to bring everybody from there?
Just play my game. Every night I try to go to compete. Just blessed to be able to go out and compete and thankful for that. So I give everything I got every time I step on the floor.
It's a lot of talk about small ball with your team, but you're big at every position outside the 5. Defensively, can you describe how you guys play?
Scrappy. We got to be mean. We got to go get loose balls. We got to rebound. We got to help each other out, man. I thought we did a good job of that tonight.
And you guys have been on your run now, and this team, Boston, came off of a 3-1 road trip and feeling good about themselves. What does this win mean for you?
It's a huge win, man. It shows that we're moving in the right direction. Now we just got to take this game and move on to the next.
Thank you, Russell. Mark?
Houston Rockets.
On to the next from Russell Westbrook, who not only has been an MVP, but he's playing alongside someone who has as well. And we've talked a lot about how they could play alongside each other. But now these are guys that when you have that MVP conversation and you talk about, all right, who's in the top 10 at this point? Realistically, Russ has made a case for himself in the last couple of months.
He really has it, and it's not just been 2 weeks that he's been playing at this level. And it's hard for a guy. He probably hasn't played off the ball since UCLA, right? He's a primary guy, so he gets it, brings it up, and attacks it. They've just got a nice flow, and their space for him is just fantastic.
As much as anything, I just appreciate that interview. I know it's after a win, but this is Russell Westbrook. He's, an older guy now. He's on another team. I think he feels re-energized. To hear him say the measure of a man is how you stand during adversity just shows me growth. And I love Russ. I like how he attacks it every night. I appreciate that he goes out there and plays every night. I just like watching these guys grow up and mature as they get older.
I like watching them not only cover GQ, but perform on the floor the way that they guaranteed everybody that they could. And since 2001, no other 2 teammates have averaged at least 30-plus points a game, like these 2 guys have throughout the month of February since Shaq and Kobe. That was the last time we saw a duo be as offensively potent as they have been in 1 month alone.
Very difficult to do as two guards.
Yeah.
You know, it's an easier mindset, guard big, but the two of them to be able to do it has just been super.
And they obviously like to play together. You saw that embrace the second the game was over, and you like to see that. That's genuine happiness on James's face, and he didn't have a good game tonight. You know, and that's really fun and rewarding for me to watch.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, we're going to take a look at, let's see, there's only one game still going on this Saturday night and just a couple of minutes left in it, but Andrew Wiggins is scoring.